Good morning. This is Lumberjack from Bearly Homesteading, and today we are getting ready for winter. So on the homestead, we heat our home exclusively with our wood stove throughout the winter. Now we do have a gas furnace, propane furnace, and last year I don't think it kicked on at all. The year before it kicked on once because we were gone all day and just couldn't keep the fire going in the wood stove. So making sure we've got enough wood for the winter is very important. We've already gotten a good start on that, and today we're going to hopefully finish that off. And we're down here in the lower part of the property. This wood has been sitting down here for several years, so it is well seasoned. We really couldn't do anything with it until we got the new drive put in to access the lower pasture. So now that we've got that in, we can go ahead and split this and haul it up and use it this winter. So that's what we're doing today. Okay, so we just split about a quarter wood, maybe a little more, and did it in just over half an hour. So while the kids are filling up the truck, I'm going to go take care of some other things. But before that, I wanted to talk about a few things about the wood. So as I mentioned earlier, we heat our house through the winter pretty much exclusively with our wood stove. And so we are burning a lot of wood. And up here in the mountains of Colorado, the only wood that's available to us is softwood. Pine, spruce, fir, aspen. And so we run the risk, because we're burning so much and so much softwood, we really run the risk of chimney fires up here. So you probably saw me splitting some logs that in other places you wouldn't split. You just leave it at that size and that'd be fine. Well, up here we burn our stove hot, pretty hot. And so to keep that temperature up, we tend to use smaller logs so that it burns faster and hotter to keep the creosote from building up in our chimney. In addition to that, we get our chimney inspected and cleaned every year. We've got a thermometer on the stove itself, so we know that we're at the right temperature. And even with all of those precautions, we still get some creosote buildup. So that's why you probably saw me splitting some logs there that normally at that size we wouldn't split. Second thing I wanted to talk about is, for those of you that are thinking about buying some land and getting into homesteading, look for land that has trees. It's probably not the most important resource. Water is the most important, but trees are up there. We use our trees for so much on the homestead. Heating our home, backup heat for cooking if we lose power, for the trails, outlining the trails, building walls, retaining walls, fencing. I mill it into lumber and then use the lumber to build things. So for us, trees are an extremely valuable resource. And so if you're looking to get into homesteading, definitely find land that has some trees on it. The other thing I will say is that because we burn so much wood, we've got to make sure that we've got plenty to go to last us through the winter. And so Mama Bear has often asked me if I would like to get a wood splitter. And I keep telling her no. And the reason why is because this gives me pretty good exercise. You know, this is a 30-minute, pretty good workout. I'm definitely breathing hard, and I can feel that my muscles are a little worked out. And so it's pretty good exercise. Keep that in mind. Obviously, if your health doesn't allow you to split wood by hand, don't do it. But it is good exercise, get you a pretty good workout, and I spread it out so that I can tell my doctor, yeah, I'm getting some exercise, doing things around the homestead, wood splitting being one of them. So you won't see us getting a wood splitter anytime soon. It helps keep the kids pretty active to work with all of this firewood, stacking it, bringing it into the house, cleaning out the ashes, all of that. And so it's one of those chores that we also can have the kids do. So with that, I'm going to move the camera and let you watch the kids fill up the truck while I go take care of a few other things. And we'll see you a little bit later. All right, so we're up at the house now. We're going to unload the wood from the truck and stack it here on the side of the house. And we'll see how much more we think we'll need for the season. Okay, so we've got all 3 racks on this side filled. We've got all 3 racks, or the 2 racks on the other side filled. And so now we're going to do a row in front. Now, with those 5 racks done during the coldest part of the winter, that'll last us about 6 to 8 weeks. This winter is supposed to be, it's predicted to be warmer and wetter, so we may not be using as much firewood, as we have in other years, but you never can tell, so it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're going to go down and get that the rest of the wood that I split this morning and get it stacked, and probably do some more before hopefully the snows hit. So we'll see you on the other side. Okay, we're done with logs for today. Got a pretty good pile going. We basically got 1 full rack sitting out here in front of the racks, and so probably 2 more and we'll be done for the season. I'd like to get that done before the snows fall. We'll see what happens. One thing that I thought about as we were stacking logs is, the question comes up pretty often, do you stack them bark up or bark down? And in my opinion, it depends upon how dry the wood is when you're stacking it. So our wood's extremely dry, been sitting for 4 years plus, and so we stack our wood bark up. And so as this rain and the snow comes, it lands on the bark. The bark will soak it up, and the wood, the main part of the log, won't get wet, or at least not as wet. And so if you got really dry wood, I stack it bark up. If your wood is kind of green, a little bit wet, then I stack it bark down. That allows the water to come up out of the log better, and it dries faster than with it bark up, in my opinion. So bark up, bark down, depends upon the wetness of the log when you're stacking it. So With that, this is Lumberjack from Barely Homesteading saying use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without, and we'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe.